What's going on YouTube? So Dragoborne has started to reveal card effects for some of the cards that are coming out in August. So today I'm going to be going over the 3 boss monsters for the starter decks that will be out on August 4th. So as you can see, the first one is the red boss monster, who is in the Alpha Dominance starter deck. And he costs 7 resources. He has 6 attack and 6 endurance. So his first effect is when this creature is summoned, choose one of your dice and change its value to 6. Then choose any number of opposing creatures and deal 6 damage divided as you choose among those creatures. So that's a really amazing effect. He could destroy one giant creature, you could destroy a few little ones. He can pretty much wipe out your board if there's nothing too strong on there. And the way the resources work, you can pretty much drop him on turn 4 if you're going second. So that could be, I just feel like red's going to be a really overpowered deck, at least early on. But then, along with that effect, you get to choose a dice and change its value to 6. So if this was late game and you have a torch in your hand, or you have a pyroblast that you can set, there's another 6 damage that they're going to take because you can change your red dice to a 6. And then that's just a lot more destruction, and your opponent's just going to have a really hard time getting over that if you drop this. So then his second effect is if you Drago cross him with the red dice, and it's when this creature is destroyed, choose any number of opposing creatures and deal 7 damage divided as you choose among those creatures. So even when he's destroyed, if they are able to get past everything else that you have, and they are able to get over him, he's going to do 7 damage and pretty much wipe out the board again. So I just think that he's really good. At least for the effects that we've seen so far, he seems to be the best one. And because you have to put a dice on him to activate that second effect, if you put your red 6 on him, that's just gonna allow you to get off your torch or your pyroblast without your opponent being able to get rid of your red 6. So it pretty much makes sure that you're going to get off that torch or pyroblast. Alright, so moving on to the next one, it's Remus, Hunter Adept, and he is in the Mystical Hunters starter deck, I believe that's what it's called. So he costs 6, and then similarly to the dragon, he has 6 attack, 6 endurance. And his first effect is when this creature is blocked, draw a card. So I do think that's pretty good. A lot better than his second effect, which I'm not that much of a fan of. But his second effect is when he's Drago crossed with a yellow dice. So I am glad to see that Dragoborne is supporting the use of dual colors. I feel like that's going to make the game a little bit more interesting. And it'll be interesting as well to see whether or not it's mostly 2 colors that interact together, or if all the colors will be interacted in some way. So you will need a yellow banner to activate his effect. And that effect is when this creature deals damage to a fort, if you have 3 or less barriers, choose one of your forts and put the top card of your deck on that fort as a barrier. So I feel like it had a lot of requirements to activate, and I don't feel like it's going to be that necessary. But I could be wrong. I'm kind of hoping I'm wrong because he is the boss monster in the starter deck, so he needs to be good. But one interesting thing to note is that you get to choose one of your forts and put the top card of your deck there. It doesn't specify that it has to have a broken barrier, so potentially, unless they release a ruling on this, but you could potentially have 3 barriers at one of your forts because of his ability, and it doesn't specify that you have to target a fort that has a broken barrier. So I could see some use for him, but I feel like he's just not as strong as Zargo Tvash. He's definitely my least favorite of the 3, so we'll move on to the third one now. So this final one is Lady of Alistra, Bloodlines Tormented. She's a 6-drop. she is the weakest with 5 attack and 5 endurance. And she is for the black deck. And her effect is when this creature destroys a creature in battle, you may choose an opposing creature with the same color as that creature and destroy it. So I wasn't really a fan of that effect at first, but it has grown on me. I have seen some real potential for it. I think she is much more of an offensive card than a defensive card. She can really punish the use of monocolored decks. Like, she is one of the few ways that we at least have right now to get rid of the dragon, but then the dragon will kill her. So, I think one of the most powerful effects early on is going to be the immunity to red, but I could see a lot of use for her, especially with her second effect, which is when she's Dragocrossed with a black dice. The ability is this creature must be blocked if able. So, if you put the dice on her and then attack into a fort that has a creature that is not resting, they're going to have to block. And since she'll be a 6/6 after Drago crossing her, she'll most likely be able to destroy that creature unless it is the dragon. And then, because that creature is destroyed, you get to choose another creature to destroy. So I do think she's a pretty good card, at least for the effects that we've seen. So thanks for watching this. If you want to see more effects as they come out, I'll try to do more videos. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know if you're going to be playing the game when it comes out in August. And thanks for watching.